Welcome to our novel, Sons of Power. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already.
Karl had languished under house arrest for well over a year, subjected to relentless questioning about his involvement in the Washington attack. Meanwhile, a bold operation had successfully spirited Kombo away from France, covertly transporting him to our secretive undersea facility in Wachtalia. In the ensuing weeks, amid unrelenting interrogations and harsh treatment, we slowly began to unravel the full extent of the events that had culminated in the horrifying butchery of Kigoma. It became increasingly apparent that Kombo had masterminded the attack on Kigoma that tragic day. However, shadowy figures who had lent their support to him remained concealed in the background. A primary suspect in this web of intrigue was Kombo La Trotte-Bergère, a wealthy French magnate who had fallen from grace in his own country due to his involvement in the Second Kitongolese Civil War. Moreover, influential figures from the Western business world were also ensnared in this complex plot. Eventually, Kombo admitted that significantly larger oil reserves had been discovered, eclipsing the importance of the reserves we had initially identified. It was abundantly clear that if we were to pinpoint the exact locations of these vast oil fields, we would have to extract this information from La Trotte-Bergère, the very mastermind behind the discovery. In due course, La Trotte-Bergère too fell into our clutches, captured in the southern reaches of France. As was our norm, our Black Ops executed their mission with a meticulous precision that left no trace of their operation, escalating the concerns of the French administration. Through diplomatic channels, they inquired about the whereabouts of both Kombo and La Trotte-Bergère, sensing that something was awry. La Trotte-Bergère, a staunch French patriot, initially met the interrogator's questions with defiance. He asserted that he and his associates had acted in the best interests of France, akin to how we were operating in the interests of Roman Polynesia. His demeanor remained devoid of remorse, and he exhibited no inclination to cooperate. However, when we presented him with videos depicting his family members engaged in their daily routines and made it explicitly clear that we intended to harm them unless he cooperated, he swiftly reconsidered, recognizing the excruciating risk to his family's safety due to our vengeful drive to obtain answers. After enduring weeks in our custody, both Kombo and La Trotte-Bergère confessed not only to their roles in the assassination of my grandfather, Emperor Felix, but also to deeper levels of involvement. The French tycoon even admitted that the butchery of Kigoma and the Washington attack were not isolated incidents. He underscored that only one individual possessed the knowledge to unravel the intricate connections between these events, and that person was none other than former French President Arthur Rivaux. Around that time, a retired US general found himself flying under the radar due to a falling out with President Richter of the United States. General James Randall Jones III, a former Chief of Staff of the Marines, could trace his lineage back to Governor Nathaniel Harrington of the Victorian realm, the last to ever hold such a title. Following the ascension of Kauri Alexandros, the governor's widow was exiled and chose America as her new homeland. One of their great-granddaughters married a wealthy British businessman known as Travis Jones, who held a substantial stake in the Californian gold trade. Since then, California and later Texas had been strongholds for the family. General Jones had garnered a reputation as one of the finest tacticians in the military, having played significant roles in various major conflicts, particularly during the Cold War. In the late 80s, the Valerian Republic served as the stage for a military coup against its elected president, Manuel Ricardo Mendoza Valdés. Forces loyal to General Gustavo Rodriguez Méndez seized power, and in the process executed President Mendoza. Manuel, a discreet leader and descendant of the Iberian Harringtonians, had risen to prominence in the 70s for his relentless fight against corruption. He was also a close friend of General Jones, as their families had maintained close ties for 3 generations. After the death of President Mendoza in 1989, his family sought refuge in the United States, where General Jones welcomed them. Fearing for the lives of the Mendoza sons, he chose to vanish from America without a trace. Their intertwined story intrigued me, prompting me to ask Lord Calais Keeney to gather information about General Jones's whereabouts. Given the events that unfolded in Washington, I had a sense that he might be able to assist us in uncovering the truth, a notion shared by André and his father. After months of extensive research, our spies located him somewhere in Thailand. They reported that the general was taking extreme precautions to remain off the grid and might react strongly if he detected surveillance. It seemed he did not trust his own country when it came to the safety of the Mendoza family, but I believed he could place his trust in ours. If I were in his place, I would undoubtedly consider Roman Polynesia as a viable option. However, it was puzzling that our diplomatic channels were not contacted. Did he possess knowledge about the Washington incident and fear that we too might come after him? The situation was perplexing, which is why I insisted on his relocation to Constantinopolis. My network informed me that the Rodriguez regime sought his death, fearing that one of the Mendoza sons might attempt to reclaim power in one way or another. My emissary made contact with General Jones in a remote location, a bar he frequented. They identified themselves as working on my behalf and informed him that I had specifically requested him and the Mendoza family to seek refuge in Constantinopolis. He initially harbored doubts about this approach, and Lord Kalakini had to meet him in person. After a face-to-face discussion with my uncle in Singapore, General Jones finally agreed, and the Mendoza family was brought to Constantinopolis. Upon his arrival, he wasted no time and immediately began sharing the names he needed to contact to gather information about the deaths of my father and brother. His decision was largely influenced by our commitment to topple Rodriguez, a prospect he eagerly anticipated.
In the next episode, Karl's Praetorians execute another daring exfiltration, claiming the ultimate prize of Clan Wahidawahe's vengeful drive, in the hope to finally uncover the identities of the people that plotted against what is now known as the South. We appreciate the time you took to watch the entirety of our video and would be honored to count you among our new subscribers. Thus, if you have not done it yet, we invite you to hit the subscribe button here and click on the notification bell to be notified about our upcoming videos. We are hoping to count you among our viewers in the next episode. See you then. Cheers.